And look, the biggest story, maybe in sports, Rob, going into this weekend was, of course, Deion Sanders and what he'd done at Colorado University. Take a team that was 1-11 a year ago. He becomes a head coach. They start 3-0, beat 17th ranked TCU, which was in the national championship game last year. And we knew this would be the big test, at least their first one against, or maybe second one, if you want to say TCU was a test. But 10th ranked Oregon in Eugene, Oregon. I picked Colorado to win. Initially, I was thinking, they'll lose, but it'll be close. And then I said, you know what? I'm going with the win. And boy, oh boy, was I wrong. 42-6. 35-0 at half, Rob. And it could have been a Denver situation had Oregon really pushed it. They said they weren't satisfied at halftime, but I don't know, Rob. It felt like they kind of just took their foot off the gas. But whatever the case, they won 42-6. And after the game, which obviously wasn't competitive at all, the big story was Dan Lanning, the Oregon coach, and his pregame speech. Here it is.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
I love that speech, though. I got to tell you, I love that speech because if you got to fire up your team, Chris, and you use what's been working for, and it's the University of Colorado.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. But if you're going to do that, Chris, and you want to fire up your team, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Make the difference between them. They got all the headlines. Everybody's in there. Lil Wayne's having a concert. All the stars are flying to Boulder. They didn't even know where Boulder was.
ESPN is there. We're going to be there. Fox Sports next week. It
might be too late, by the time y'all get there.
Speak and Undisputed are going.
That's what I'm saying. But
we're not, I guess, because we're in New York.
Right. They're going for when? For what?
They're going Friday. They're going to be Friday. I know. It's kind of like
for the USC game?
Too little, too late.
Well, you plan it out thinking, well, maybe they might. And they were probably going off of your prediction, saying Chris has predicted them, so let's book the tickets because Chris said they were going to win.
But anyway, a while before they trust my prediction.
Yeah, I know. Not that one. But Chris, you know what? The only thing I'm going to say, I wasn't surprised. To go to Eugene and try to win, I didn't see it. I really didn't, and it's no disrespect to what Colorado has done to this point, because it has been impressive, Chris, to start the season against TCU, and I get it. And then who'd they play? Nebraska,
which isn't a great team anymore, but it's
Nebraska's
still a Power 5 team.
And then Colorado State, remember, they struggled. They did get the win. Yep. It was exciting, but they struggled. And they were 21.5-point favorites against Colorado State, and they needed overtime and a miracle to win that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another sign that was like, okay. But here's the only thing I'm going to say. Now, like the pushback is like, even in Deion has handled everying top shelf.
He was not critical of the coach's speech.
No. That was a great speech, Chris. That's what you're supposed to motivate the kids. He didn't demean Deion or those other players. He just talked about let us know what the difference is here. You know what I mean? I thought that speech was on the money.
Let me say this because we're gonna probably move past the speech. I agree, and people out there. I don't know what, but apparently some people had a problem with it. Stop it.
Stop.
If you've ever been, you're right. He's motivating his kids. Coaches say much worse. And fine. It's about motivating your team. And now, there are a couple issues. I wouldn't even say issues. I'll just point out some inconsistencies maybe. One is that Deion himself is substance. Now, he's flash, too, right? There's no doubt. But you can be both. He is substance and he is flash. Dr. J was substance and flash. Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Kobe. Like, there are a lot of guys that mix substance with flash. So, but I get it in a pregame speech, right? I'm not getting that intricate. I'm just going, right. So I ain't mad at him. I'm just saying Deion is substance too, but he is flash. And the other thing is Oregon is substance and flash. Don't act, I mean, you seen their basketball courts? I mean, it's like, what in the world is that on the court?
Don't they have like 1 million uniforms?
It's ridiculous. They got all these uniforms, the bright colors. It's Nike. It's a running ad for Nike. So they're flash too. But again, I get it. So I'm with you, Rob. Anybody was an insult, stop it.
And here's the other one.
I'm so sick of everybody people can't say anything anymore.
Right. He didn't say anything.
He said this.
Right.
I mean, come on.
And here's the other thing, too, that I thought was weird by Deion, where, after you get your butt kicked or whatever, then he goes, well, everybody, the coaches are out to beat me, not the kids. What is that, Chris?
I think he's right.
No, but
I mean, do you need to say it is a question? But he's the one, the kids are the one getting beat, right? They're the ones taking the pain and the punishment. But don't you think, it is about him.
No, but Chris, it's still, if you're Oregon, you don't want to be that school that they come up, this team that won one game last year, come up to Eugene. I'm just saying, you're trying to win the game. And if the school's not up to par good enough, you're going to ram it down their throat. That's what he did. I don't think they was like, oh, no, we got to win 42-6 to beat Deion. That's the only way we're going. No, I don't think that was the message. They wanted to beat him and beat him good, don't get me wrong, but I don't care who was coaching. If they were the one getting all the attention and all the accolades.
Well, that's the thing, but why are they getting the attention? It's because of Deion.
I get it, but you still want to win the game. And the other thing, too, Deion's kids going to this middle and all that and doing that pregame stuff, then you got to take your medicine when you lose. You can't have it both ways.
No,
can't have it both ways.
I think, Rob, and I don't know this. Look, TCU is now 3-1. Texas, the reason I thought Colorado could win was because Oregon has struggled with Texas Tech. They were down with less than 2 minutes left to play in that game, came back to win. But Texas Tech is 1-3. And TCU is now, they beat SMU and Houston, not juggernauts, but still legitimate, Power 5 teams. I'm wondering, Rob, after these last two games for Colorado. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Okay.
I wonder, did TCU take Colorado lightly, right? Thinking, they're 1-11 last year. Yeah, they're hyped because of their coach, but he's not playing, And secondly, Colorado, because of the hype now, is getting everybody's A+ game.
Nobody's going to take them lightly or sleep on them, Chris. And that's what happens when you
the hype.
When you win, and B, the hype that's involved in it. There's no doubt about it. That
Colorado State brought their absolute best.
Thank you.
Oregon brought their absolute best. And here's the problem, Rob. Colorado they're getting like championship level treatment, right? Like if you play Alabama or Georgia or somebody like that, you're bringing your A game every time. Well, now that's happening to Colorado. The difference is they don't have that level of team.
Right.
So if USC is like, we're bringing our A game.
You don't think USC?
They gonna score. They can score 50 or 60 points on you.
Exactly. You think that they're gonna Lincoln Riley and USC gonna be asleep, or think they're gonna sleepwalk through a game against Colorado? Absolutely not. They're gonna be like, you saw what we just saw. Right. That's what we're gonna do.
Well, and Rob, they also, and understandably, you programs and probably players and coaches are also like, man, they getting all the publicity. They getting all the hype. They the biggest sport in sports. We are way better than them.
Right.
You don't think USC, best player in the country, Caleb Williams, you don't think they're going to be like, everybody's watching us.
Yep.
That's the thing. Everybody's going to be watching us. We're going to show them how great we are. Oregon hasn't gotten this much attention all year. And that's a part of it. And let me say this before we go, Rob, about the speech. Part of that speech, too, and Deion and others have, in my view, rightly stated that coaches are worried about Deion because they know, especially in today's climate where it's NIL, teams can pay players, NIL deals, they're different for different schools. And with a guy like Deion and his stature and his ability to get, endorsers and marketers and all that, like, he's going to be able to get big time NIL deals for kids. He's going to get great players there at Colorado. And I think these coaches are definitely worried about it. And one of the reasons, like, that speech, part of it too was like, I want to show these kids that we're still a much better program. Like, they can have all of that, but if you want to be on a better team, come here. Like, we're going to beat them up. And really, they want to show kids that's still not a top program. I don't think it'll work because I think they will be a top program. But I think these coaches want to show them that's not a top program.